Eagles, Niners, opening round of the playoffs, but we know what this really is. A holdover flight for the Niners on their way to Cancun. Dallas still stinks. Yo, but no way, kick things back here. Are you ready? Are you ready for the NFL champions, the world champs, to defend their title in the playoffs? This is what we've all been waiting for. This is what it's all about. I truly believe the Eagles are a team that is built more for the playoffs than for the regular season. And you're going to see this weekend, it's going to start. You're going to see all these teams, offenses who love to come out and throw all over the field, all play more like the Eagles play. It's about not turning the ball over, good defense, and then the offense making sure, especially in the red zone, that you come away with touchdowns. It begins this week, and they're playing the San Francisco 49ers, or as many of us like to call them, the Whiners. The 49ers are 0-0. The Eagles are 0-0. Everybody's 0-0 who's in the playoffs, and the Cowboys are in Cancun. And we will see if the 49ers are about to join them. But look, this is going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be a tougher game than people think. I don't think the 49ers are one of these brand new teams into the playoffs who never experienced and are just glad to be there. They got guys who have been there before. And, you know, it's interesting because over the years, it seems like the rivalry of the 49ers-Eagles has grown a little bit. And that's because the Eagles are winning. But when I was growing up, I never hated the 49ers. I didn't hate Joe Montana or Jerry Rice. You know, it didn't because they hated the Cowboys. And we hated the Cowboys. So it was like the friend of, you know, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. That's how I saw the 49ers. But in recent years, we've seen that they can cry and be babies a lot. And I'll give them credit. They came in a few years ago, and they were ready for a funeral, and they buried us. And they buried us, and that was an embarrassing time, and that led to that great choke, great collapse that we had. But because of it, we fixed some things, and we rebounded, and we won the Super Bowl. I think it's time to take the 49ers and send them to Cancun. And it's going to start with the injury report, okay? And for the Eagles, in their injury report, it's looking good so far because all your starters are practicing except for Nakobe. Here's what we got. I think it looks good. I mean, it looks as good as you pretty much could have this time of year, okay? Only one starter will not play in this game. So, here's the injury report. Lane Johnson, foot, limited practice, questionable. Brett Toth, concussion, limited practice, questionable. Grant Calcaterra, Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, Landon Dickerson, Marcus Epps, Dallas Goedert, Azeez Ojulari, he's questionable. But Jalen Phillips, all of them had full practice. So, to me, we are in a situation right now where it looks like everybody but Nakobe is going to start. Can't say the same for the 49ers. I think Trent Williams looks like he's going to go. Pearsall, he took a step back. I don't think he's playing. I know he's not practicing today. And then, they've had a just tremendous amount of injuries at linebacker. You got Kazir White they had to sign this week. But for the Eagles, no, I believe this is about as good as you could get. And hopefully, when you take this injury report and the sacrifice of losing that second seed, hopefully everybody is fresh and ready to go. And I'll tell you who's ready to go, and that is Philly 500. I'm ready to go, and Polymarket is at the helm. Playoff time is here. Real quick, Polymarket is the revolutionary prediction market everyone is absolutely obsessed with right now. Live and legal in all 50 states, 1-cent fees, instant trades, total control. You're trading against people and not the house. Now, if we check into the Polymarket app, we are going to see that the Eagles are getting a 69% chance to win. You know the Philly crowd is going to be loud, okay? So I'm loaded up big time on the birds. Yes, Philly's defense is nasty. Offense is clicking. That's who I'm taking. We got to go with the Eagles. No question about it. It's incredible. Everyone's going crazy over it. And the most awesome part, downloading the app with the link below and using my code Philly500 unlocks exclusive early access. Early access plus $10 completely free. No deposit, no card, nothing. Don't miss out and join the revolution. Thank Polymarket. We appreciate them so much. It's a great, great app. I'm telling you, it's like my favorite thing. It really is. Now, before I get into the Eagles game, I do want to talk about something that broke yesterday that I didn't get a chance to talk about, and that is Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel has been fired, and he's probably been the number one guy I have been kind of eyeing for a possible offensive coordinator position with the Eagles. If they choose to go in that direction, I think probably, unless they score 40 points a game in the playoffs, I really think I really think they're gonna do something. I do. Mike McDaniel, to me, right now, and I'm not saying it has to be like this, probably be my first choice. I think with the weapons we have, I think he would do a great job with Jalen. I think, AJ may be more excited to stay here. And AJ, by the way, has been the leader in the locker room, okay? AJ knows what it means to go into the playoffs and what it takes. Is he doing it because he feels this is his last hurrah with the Eagles? Or is it because, hey, it's playoff time and this team is built for the playoffs? Mike McDaniel would be perfect. Now, here's what we're hearing, though, already. Ian Rappaport reported the Pound Lions have already reached out to former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel about their vacant offensive coordinator position. Sources say McDaniel is their top candidate he's a top candidate for any open job, offensive coordinator job. Yeah, of course the Lions would jump on that, and he would be great with them too. So they're making the right choice. Hopefully the Eagles will have a chance. This is always the problem when you're good. When you're in the playoffs and stuff, these other teams are already hiring coaches. They're already hiring coaches, interviewing coaches, even from teams that are on bye week. If the Eagles get to the Super Bowl again and that bye week before the Super Bowl, they'll be interviewing our coaches. I really think, and this is just my own personal opinion, I think that they should treat coaching jobs like they treat free agency, meaning when the Super Bowl ends, then you could start interviewing coaches. But before that, no movement until after the Super Bowl. But that's just my opinion. Now, I've blabbered too much about it, so we're going to jump right into this. Eagles versus the 49ers. Here's what I think. I think that the Eagles' offense, how is it going to change from all the things that we have seen all year? Everybody has crapped on it. I have crapped on it. We have been so frustrated with this offense. I truly believe that it's not as bad as we think it is. What is bad about it is that the Eagles play too conservative when they go up. You can look at the games we lost. We got our butts kicked versus the Bears. We got our butts kicked versus the Giants. But we gave away the Denver Broncos game. We should have won the Chargers game. We gave away the Dallas Cowboys game. I mean, most of the losses we had were after we've had big leads. We go into this conservative, don't do anything, don't make any mistakes. A quarterback doesn't throw 15 to 17 in the first half of a game and then not throw for one passing yard or one completion. That's because they're saying, throw it away, don't push it, don't do anything crazy. It's conservative, it's prevent offense. If the Eagles take their foot off the gas on that, or if I'm saying take your foot off the gas of taking your foot off the gas. If they stop with the prevent offense, or at least wait till later the game, I believe the offense will be efficient enough. I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest thing ever. I don't think it could reach that potential with the coordinator. But I do think that it could be efficient enough that they'll be okay. Also, I expect versus the 49ers defense, and this is why I think the Eagles match up well with them. One, they're banged up defensively, all their linebackers, but they don't get a ton of sacks, okay? So if you're going to give the Eagles an opportunity to go out and to be able to run the ball and to give them time in the pocket to pass, I think the Niners are going to have trouble. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble. I expect to see Hurts run the RPOs a lot more. I think you're going to see him use his legs a lot more. I think that one thing they cut back and they do on purpose during the regular season is they don't want him to get hurt, so they hold back on that. I don't think they will do that this game. So what I think you're going to see is I actually think the Eagles are going to run the ball effectively, and I think it's going to be partly and because, one, Lane Johnson's back, and that's a big thing. But two, because of the RPOs and because of Hurts now being a threat to run, I think the running game with Barkley will do a better job. They are well rested, and of course, I think the Eagles in the passing game with the weapons they have, I think they should be good. So I think this offense could be pretty efficient against the Niners. I'm more worried if they're up 14-0 a half than I am if it's 7-3 49ers a half, because of the self-inflicted prevent offense. So I think the offense is going to move the ball. I think, of course, it's going to be I think Hurts and Hurts' legs in this game is going to be the key for the Eagles offensively. And I think we're going to see it more, and I think it's going to bring the run game alive. And I don't think the Eagles are going to let their foot off the gas. I think they're going to be a little more aggressive, a little bigger of killers, and I think the offense is actually going to do better than people think. Defensively, there's two guys that I worry about, Kittle and McCaffrey. If you get to Purdy, you could get Purdy to turn over the ball. He's a turnover machine waiting to happen. But you got to get pressure, kind of like Jared Goff. Now the difference is he can move and he can run, so you got to watch him and his feet. But to me, Kittle and McCaffrey are the two things you got to worry about. And to me, McCaffrey's more dangerous in the passing game. The one area the Eagles defensively has struggled this year was they've given up a lot of yards to running backs out of the backfield in the passing game. They are the number one defense ranked against tight ends. So keep that in mind. But I think the 49ers, I think they're going to throw everything out there. Shanahan is a very good coach. He's very good at in-game adjustment and coming up with things that he needs to. So I expect them to throw it all out there. I think they're going to throw the book at us, okay? I think you'll see flea flickers, reverses. They're going to see all sorts of things up-tempo. They're going to do whatever they can because that defense is so dangerous. But at the end of the day, it's that offense, it's that defensive line. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, they have been fantastic, and Jalen Hunt has continued to develop, and I think that this defense, at the end of the day, will be too much for the 49ers. I have the Eagles winning this game 27-17. That's what I think it's going to be, and I think we're going to come out of it and say, yeah, the offense isn't perfect. We still see a lot of the same problems, but they ran the ball much more. Hurts' legs were great, and I think Hurts is going to have a fantastic game. So I got that. That's what I have, the Eagles versus the 49ers. We will be streaming it, of course, as well as every other game. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. All right, so it's Wild Card weekend, and upon request, I had people ask me if I was going to do a prediction on the other games, so I'm going to give you what I'm thinking. Now, we'll be streaming each one of these games, so it should be a lot of fun. When we look at the first game of the day, the Rams-Panthers, look, the Panthers already beat them. They run the ball extremely well. I think at home it helps a lot. I think this will be a closer game than maybe some people think. But I think at the end of the day, I still got to go with the Rams. I think, for me, it's hard to envision that Carolina would beat them again. So I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. The Prime Video. Why is this game on Prime? I hate it. But the 8 p.m. Saturday game, Green Bay and the Bears. This is their third meeting of the year. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. It is. Green Bay, for all intents and purposes, should have beaten the Bears. Okay, they gave that second game especially. I can't remember what happened in the first game, but that second game they should have won. They are also beat up, and I think this will be a close game, but I still think the Bears are going to win. I think it's going to probably be electric in Chicago. I don't think they've had real playoff football for a long time, right? So I got the Bears winning that game. Sunday, we got the Bills and the Jaguars. Now, I like the Jags. I think they've come a long way. I think they're up and coming. I think they're going to be good next year as well. But I look at Josh Allen and I say to myself, if he's going to make a trip to the Super Bowl, it's got to be now. It's got to be now, because no Mahomes, no Lamar. This is his time that he's got to take it. You got a lot of quarterbacks in there and a lot of teams that really don't have that playoff experience. I'm going to say the Bills are going to win this game. Of course, we did the Eagles game, and then we got the Chargers Patriots. There is no reason for this. Okay, what I'm about to say is purely just gut level feeling. I don't know why. I just feel in my gut the Chargers are going to win this game. So I'm going to take the Chargers to beat New England. Now, for a California team, warm weather, to go in the cold and beat a team, it's very hard to do. That usually doesn't happen. I just think a lot of those guys in New England, playoff inexperience. We don't know how he's going to be in the playoffs. I mean, he could go out and be great, which will change my whole opinion of where the Patriots could go in these playoffs. Herbert, he has Dakitis. He's got to prove himself. So I'm going to say the Chargers in an upset, and I'm not going to pretend to have some logical insight to it. It's just gut feeling, and that's all I'm going with on it. Then as far as the last game, Monday night game, you have the Texans-Steelers. Texans have the better defense. They have the better team, in my opinion. They should win this game, the Texans, but I'm going to take the Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers playing at home. I think Aaron Rodgers got a little bit more, and I think that the way that they got into the playoffs versus the Ravens is going to be momentum that they're going to ride, and I think it's going to be an upset. I think the Steelers are going to win. That's what we got this weekend. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.